Hello and welcome to Outlook Live. I'm here with Tanul Thakur. You recently visited Ayodhya and Varanasi. Ayodhya, of course, is from where the BJP's political project started and it's where it's centered. And Varanasi, where Prime Minister Modi is contesting. So, what were your impressions when you went, and how do they tally with what we are seeing today on counting day?
Yeah, so I went to Ayodhya 2 weeks before the Ram Temple consecration. Of course, the mood there, I mean, at least the overarching mood was very festive and all of that, was very celebratory. But I mean, the thing with Ayodhya, at least in January, was the two parts of Ayodhya. Ayodhya was, and I'm sure still is, entangled in this elaborate game of hide and seek. What Ayodhya shows, what Ayodhya hides. I mean, at one level, you could see that the air was kind of like awashed with this festive spirit, but just go a little deeper and just start talking to people, which is what I did. I figured out that uh, this so-called like roseate story did hide some amount of darkness. I mean, I spoke to shopkeepers who said that the government decimated half of their shops in which they used to live. It tossed them a meager compensation, and a lot of them were very very pissed. A lot of them were very pissed also by the fact that the BJP government, through the whole Ram Temple project, was trying to change the composition of the city as well. I remember talking to a priest in the Prajapati temple, and he said that Ayodhya will become like Goa now. He also said something which I'll never forget, which is essentially that it almost feels as if somebody draped Ayodhya a jacket of gold, but took its soul away. And you could almost sense that there was some amount of resentment that was brewing, although I think I would be lying if I said that. I mean, it would translate into what we are seeing right now, which is that the BJP is trailing, BJP's Lallu Singh is trailing there by more than 40,000 votes. I mean, this is almost, to use a phrase, I mean, this 30-year-long electoral, what do you call it, like foreplay, which has not culminated in the way a lot of BJP supporters and the BJP themselves would have thought. I mean, the Ram Temple and Ayodhya was supposed to catapult them to like higher electoral victories. It does. I mean, on the other hand, that hasn't happened. On the other hand, they seem to be losing, that kingdom itself.
So, what about Varanasi? What were the issues that people were talking about, and what were the issues that they were reluctant to talk about?
Yeah, so I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, the word reluctant that you use, and I think anybody who has followed election in any capacity would have heard this phrase that this is an election of silence. That people, it's both about what people talk about, but it's also about what people do not talk about, right? So, for instance, I mean, again, at like if you like look at Varanasi, I mean, in my experience at least, like as a panoramic view, people did wax eloquent about PM Modi. They were happy that the ghats have been revamped, Assi had gotten a facelift, and things like that, which is also, I mean, true. You could see that there were cosmetic changes in there. And before I come to that, there's something that I would like to point out, which was very striking to me in both Ayodhya and Varanasi, which was that both temple towns seem to follow a similar language of development, which was that you take an old like temple town or a religious place, you concentrate all your energies, development, and all of that within like a kilometer of that area. You impose on it a very uniform aesthetic, say like same kinds of boards, dimensions, fonts, and all of that, whether people like it or not, and well, the rest of the city can well just go whatever itself, right? So that was something that was very striking to me in both Ayodhya and Varanasi. Now, coming back to what people were thinking about and what they were talking about, one thing was for sure that, I mean, apart from the fact that they had gotten like this, like a prime candidate as their MP and all of that, and how he was trying to give the city a facelift, and you could see it in, again, like these very glitzy symbols of development, like say like a Namo Ghat, which almost has become like a promenade of sorts. I mean, it's a mini Disneyland, so to speak. So those were things. But again, like when I went to Dal Mandi, for instance, like this Muslim-dominated area in Varanasi, a lot of people just straight up refused to talk to me. I mean, you could almost see the sense of like disconcerting environment rippling through it. I mean, one after the other, they would just say that, everything is fine, we don't want to talk to you about it, and all of that. So you could get some sense that, of course, there is a lot of discomfort, there is a lot of, add to that like the whole Gyanvapi controversy and all of that, right? And what's very interesting to me is that, I mean, if you see the numbers, Narendra Modi's vote share, as of now at least, has decreased from 64% to 54%, while Congress's Ajay Rai's has increased from 14 to 41%. That says something, and it almost like kind of tallies in with the national mood of the election that's unfolding in front of us right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.